If everyone can please whisper. Court is calling 2022 CR 9806, State of Texas versus Lisa Garza.
We're ready, Your Honor.
All right, if our parties approach and announce for the record for the state.
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense.
Robert Mauer for the defendant, Your Honor.
And are you Lisa Marie Garza?
Yes, ma'am.
You entered a plea on September 5th to no contest. According to the plea bargaining agreement, the state is recommending deferred adjudication. There's to be restitution to and no contact with any witnesses from the state or the defense.
No, Your Honor.
No, Judge.
All right, defense, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, I just ask the court to note, this is a situation where the state and defense, I think, agreed that this plea bargain was the right course of action based upon the totality of the circumstances. I don't think there's an issue about any final amount of restitution. There's no problem with contact. The complainant moved and my client is also not at the same location. This is her first arrest. I noted one of the things that concerns me is probation noted one of their concerns was criminal history. And I wonder why, because my client, I mean, this really is the first case of note. And it was, our argument was, a case of self-defense. And I think we negotiated this because I think it was the right thing to do. And my client wanted to put this past her. So I would ask the court to grant her deferred, follow our plea bargain, and allow my client to move on with her life. I think she'll do this successfully. There's no indications of drug or alcohol problems, and she works currently as a manager.
All right. Is there anything from the state?
No, Your Honor.
All right, you may continue to confer.
Thank you, Judge.
So how many children are you in charge of and in care of?
Right now, my youngest just turned 18 on November the 5th.
Okay, any grandchildren?
I have 4.
All right, and do you babysit them sometimes?
One of them sometimes.
Okay. All right, this is what the court will do. Court will sentence you to the 6 years deferred adjudication. Of course, if she completes everything early, the court will consider termination.
Yes, ma'am.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. And probation, Zoom may be appropriate for her depending on her work schedule. Anger management. And I don't see in the report any restitution listed.
I don't think we have a specific amount. There was nothing specifically given by the complainant.
All right, then I'll do a restitution if any. And if you think the restitution amount is too high, all you have to do is come back to court and let me know and we'll have a hearing, all right?
You can contact me.
So that's restitution if any. There's to be no contact with proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. They're asking for 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once you complete the parenting classes, the 200 hours will be deemed to be satisfied. There's to be regular UAs, field visits, one time per month for 2 months. Probation, if there is no issue with the field visits, then the remaining field visits will be at your discretion. Thank you. Probation, is there anything else she needs?
No, Your Honor.
All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No,
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. I'm sorry, there's an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon. All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes,
All right, you're not allowed to possess any weapons. With regards, we're off the record, with regards to alcohol, because you're on probation, you're not allowed to drink any alcohol. And I saw in the TAP evaluation, I'm assured that it's just regular drinking and not something that's a problem.
yes,
But while you're on probation, you're not allowed to drink alcohol whatsoever. I know we have holidays coming up, but if you drink alcohol and if you test positive for alcohol, they could file a motion to revoke against you. You understand?
yes,
From here on out, everything you do, you need to ask yourself a question. Could this potentially result in me going to prison for 20 years? Because that's how much time you could potentially get if you mess up. If the answer is yes, don't do it. If the answer is maybe, don't do it. And in this courtroom, to be successful on probation, communication is key. If you have an issue, talk to the probation officer. If you feel like they're not addressing it, you can always come back to court. All right?
okay.
All right, just remain in court and probation will go over conditions with you. Good luck.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Okay, so was a plea, it doesn't appear that a plea was ever done. Is that correct?
There was a plea before retired Judge Angelini, and we agreed to defer adjudication.
Mhm.
And for some reason, he set it for PSI.
All right, so we have a problem. Things have been lost. Because,
Here's the report if you want it.
oh no, I have the report and everything, but
Okay.
I have this blank sheet as though a plea was never taken.
It was 6 years deferred adjudication.
No, I have the steps and everything, but I don't know how he pled or anything. So this is what we're,
Pled guilty.
all right. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm assuming the court reporter was here.
Yes.
All right. So we're gonna go on the record. 2023 CR 7388, State of Texas versus Elliot Scott Vea. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
James Seeloff for the defense.
Are you Mr. Vea?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Vea, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand. With regards to the charge of robbery, do you recall how your plea was? Was it guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
There was no contest, but he said he found me guilty.
All right, so you entered a plea of no contest? Is that correct from both sides?
Your Honor, I do not have the file in front of me, but I could have that pulled, Judge.
No, that's fine. All right.
And it was a deferred, the state recommended deferred adjudication, so he withheld finding guilt.
That's correct, Judge. I do have in the, not the physical file, but in the, on JD, it's a 6 years of deferred adjudication, Judge.
All right. So the court reporter did take a record because you wouldn't have been able to enter your plea without the court reporter record. So I'm going to put it down as you pled no contest because you're telling me that you entered a plea of no contest. And you understand a no contest plea is not really you saying that you're guilty or not guilty. It's just saying that you're not going to fight the charges against you and you're not going to contest what people are saying. Did you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the previous judge found there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Let me just review things very quickly.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Finally, I get to the point where the P3, who is P3? So let me just find that in the report. All right, we're going to go off the record. If you all can look over that, because it's not showing me. I know that the previous judge found there was sufficient evidence to find him guilty, but they haven't identified the defendants in the report.
Okay.
So they have a P3 listed, but there's no mention of P3 in the police report. P1 and P2, they have them listed as the complainants.
Right.
And then they have a suspect one, and a suspect 2. Unless I'm reading something incorrectly, it doesn't mention who the suspect 1 and 2 is.
Okay.
So if you all can find that, and then I'll take you all up.
Okay.
All right. As I say, maybe I'm missing it because it is Friday and Monday. Okay. All right, and everyone, please do not talk behind the court reporter. If you're in the box, just ask the deputy. They will move you to the further end. All right, do you have the exhibit?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let me look over this real quick. All right.
Just for the court's edification outside the record, I got the e-discovery and, there was video of, my
Okay.
funeral.
Oh, I just found it thank you. All right, we're back on the record in 2023 CR 7388, State of Texas versus Elliot Vea. State, any more evidence you wish to present?
Yes, Your Honor, we'd like to supplement State's Exhibit 1 with that additional police report, Your Honor.
No objection.
All right. I know previously, the previous judge stated there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. And after reading State's Exhibits 1 and attachments with the supplement, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. And the court has accepted into evidence without objection the supplemental to the stipulations. Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we have a plea bargain for deferred adjudication. He is, responsible. for-
Everyone, please whisper. If you cannot whisper, then you cannot talk while we're on the record.
He's responsible for a young son and, he wants to turn his life around. So I asked the court to give him this one last chance. 6 years of deferred adjudication.
All right, so here's my question for you. Why are you stealing?
Money for my son.
No, your son doesn't wear cologne. Does your son wear cologne?
No, Your Honor.
How old is your son?
7 years old.
He's 7 years old. He's not wearing Versace cologne. So why are you stealing?
I was selling the stuff for money. It was stupid.
So why not just get a job?
I
People
know.
always say there are no jobs available. They are, but there are just some jobs that people think are too good for them. Like I always pass by, I see job applications for Bill Miller's, McDonald's, and McDonald's, I think they're paying $20 an hour. I know some people say, well, I'm not flipping burgers for $20 an hour. But you know what? Guess what? In order for this society and any society to run well, everybody has to be able to do something.
Yes, Your Honor.
You need some people to bring in the crops. I think people are learning that. You need somebody to be maintenance. You need somebody to clean up. You need somebody to change the bedding at the hotels. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
But sometimes people think they're too good for that. So why do you think you're too good to work?
No, I don't. I was working at Toyota. I don't know what happened, honestly.
No, yeah, you do know what happened. If you were working at Toyota, why were you no longer working at Toyota?
Transportation.
No, because there's Via Bus. So why were you no longer working at Toyota?
Out in the country where I'm at, I'm in Poteet.
Mhm,
Via doesn't go out there.
mhm. And nobody else in Poteet works at Toyota.
Not where I was at.
I find that very
Well,
suspicious.
I'm sure there's other people that work there, but I didn't know anybody that did at the time.
I still don't understand that. If you have a great job, so you're telling me if I have a job and let's say my job pays $60 an hour and I'm working there, I have a child and I'm just going to say, well, I can't get to work anymore, so I'm just quitting. That doesn't make sense to me because you find a way to get to work. You either take an Uber, because I know Toyota pays well, you take an Uber to wherever the Via bus stop is, and then you take Via into your work. So that doesn't ring true to me. So again, why are you stealing? And you were stealing with other people. So all of you all got together and say, hey, neither one of us have a job and we need to support our children. So let's go to Nordstrom's rack and steal. I don't even understand going to Nordstrom's to steal. So we're back to why.
It was stupid. It was just to make money.
And how old are you?
28, 29.
So you're 28 years old and you're going to have a felony because you wanted to take some cologne.
It was a mistake.
No, it wasn't a mistake. You know what a mistake is? Let me tell you the definition of mistake. Let's say my mom didn't call me, but my mom calls me every day. So she would have called me and told me what the weather is. So let's say she calls me and she says, Stephanie, it's going to rain in San Antonio. Even though she doesn't live in this state, she always keeps her eye on the weather. And I'm like, okay. And then she calls me before I'm leaving. Don't forget your umbrella. I come to court. I have a black umbrella. I sit down next to somebody else who also has a black umbrella. I see people coming in, they're wet. I pick up the umbrella after I finish my business and I leave. And when I open up the umbrella, I don't see my initials. I took the wrong umbrella. That's a mistake. You made a choice. And let me give you an example of a choice. My mom doesn't call me and tell me it's not going to rain. It's looking cloudy, but I'm like, it's not going to rain. It's San Antonio. And if it does start raining, it'll stop fairly quickly. I come to court. I see people drenched because it's storming, raining. The person next to me has an umbrella. I don't have mine. I know it's raining. So you know what I do? I take their umbrella. That's not a mistake. I knew I didn't bring my umbrella, but hey, I don't want to get wet. You understand? So don't tell me you made a mistake. You made choices. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, who do you live with?
My mother,
And who else?
her husband, my little sister.
All right. So you're not really taking care of your child. When's the last time you saw your child before being taken into custody?
Like a month prior.
All right. Does anybody have the October 9th? Was a PSI done on this?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
You got it?
I have it, thank you. So they're asking for residential treatment. They say you have a alcohol problem, and it appears that you do.
No, man, the last time I drank was New Year's of last year. It's not a problem at all. And it's not even drinking. They get drunk. It was just on New Year's. That was the last time.
All right, well, they're asking for you for residential treatment. I don't know why they're asking for residential treatment, because it says you started drinking alcohol at 23 and you do 2 to 3 liquor shots 2 times a year. That to me
2 times a year?
does not, yeah, that's what it says, 2 times a year.
You know, when I did the PSI, it was when she asked me, I told her on New Year's and on Christmas.
All right, I think it's more than that, but you're saying you don't need inpatient treatment. We're going to start you out with outpatient treatment. Court is going to sentence you to 6 years deferred adjudication, intensive outpatient treatment with probation, 100 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to require parenting classes. Once he completes parenting classes, the 100 hours of community service will be deemed satisfied. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular UAs, make sure they test for alcohol. You're not allowed to drink alcohol at all while you're on probation. Do you understand?
Sure.
There's to be no contact with Nordstrom's. And that includes Nordstrom's Rack, the regular Nordstrom's off Broadway. You're not to go there. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's to be no contact with
He's a security guard for Nordstrom.
proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. And once he's,
Except for his child?
no, once he's started doing parenting classes, then you can come back and I'll probably lift that. But he has a alcohol problem according to them, and he's going around, and this is not, according to the police report I read, this is not the only location where they've been committing thefts.
You understand? You can't
There's to be
your child.
Field visits 1 time per month for 4 months. and then at probation's discretion. They would also probably ask for a theft course. Here's my theft course. Don't steal. Don't take what doesn't belong to you. Do you need a course for somebody to tell you that?
No, Your Honor.
All right. And we'll do the MRT. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Yes, 90 and 90 days. So you'll have to do sober meetings each day. You can do those online. You can do those in person. They're all over the state of Texas, and I'm sure there are some in Poteet. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anything else, probation?
You have any questions?
All right. Is there anything that you need from the court to be successful?
No, I got it.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. You need to be making your son proud of you.
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right, so do better.
All right.
And this court, in order to be successful on probation, communication is key. If you feel like probation is not addressing something, you can always come back to the court, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
The probation officer will talk to you. No excuses. Thank you.